Y'all to be able to share it. All right, we are live. As you guys know, sometimes there's a 10-second delay. So if you want to, you can share it on your page, invite people to come and join us in. Welcome to November's Taylor's Talk. This topic for the month is Are We Truly Thankful? This is the month of Thanksgiving. We won't go into the details, but we actually know it was more about like them having dinner supposedly with the Indians because they actually took their land, but it is a time for family and friends to get together. So more than focus on what we consider it to be the actual holiday, I focus on more of giving back to the community. Have some individuals on with me today, but first I got to kick it over to my co-host Neo. Pastor Neil, introduce yourself, tell the people who you are.
How you doing, everybody? I'm Pastor Neil Kelly, aka Neo the Barber in my profession. I'm a pastor at Apostle of God's Church ITH, that's in True Holiness, and I'm the proud owner of the I Pray Barber Studio on 64th in Burleigh. Man, it's just a pleasure to be with you guys for the second time that I've been with you, her co-hosting, and hey, uh, it's the time of you to be thankful and just all glory be to God at this moment in time. Y'all got to excuse my voice. We had a long weekend, man. And the Dietrich Haddon concert got me a little hoarse and preaching twice yesterday, do too. So, hey, y'all got to bear with me a little bit.
Absolutely glad to have him on board. You know, he probably want us to change the name from Taylor Talks, but that's something we ain't negotiated now. But I truly thank Neo for coming on, co-hosting. It gives a different type of environment and vibe to it. And then you guys can get somebody else that can come on with that monotone voice. So probably from a man's point of
We
view.
can keep it there. My job is to just serve, and I'm a servant.
Right. So glad we don't got to get into it today. So next, I'm gonna kick it over to Miss Farina, and Shaquila is in the building. She's having a couple technical difficulties, but we ain't gonna let that steal our joy with Butterfly Effect. So you just keep trying to get on, and we gonna continue to go on. Miss Farina, would you like to introduce yourself and who are you representing today, or what organization?
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Farina Brooks. I am representing and founder of Dream Team United MKE, which is a group of different people from all walks of life, all ages. And it was a group that was brought together by a vision of God. He brought this vision to me, and He placed the people that's supposed to be there in the group. And it's a group that we come together and we serve and love on our community, and we give back to them in a way that other places don't. We do pop up grocery giveaways, which we just did one yesterday. When we do our giveaways, we don't require IDs, we don't require signatures, we don't require anything. We don't ask any questions. We don't care why you got to where you at. Doesn't matter to us. We're just there to love on you and give back to you.
Absolutely. Thank you for that dream team. They say teamwork makes the dream work. All right. Augie is in the building on the roll. Augie, can you chime in real quick? He multitasking, y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, did he go off? Augie. I see him on here. I see him on here. All right. So I'm gonna as he go pop in, I'm just gonna take us over to this short video and we go keep moving forward tonight. We've all had a long weekend, but we ain't gonna let that stop us. We got to get into this topic. But before we do, let's make sure it even share the screen right since we having a little difficulties.
Whenever life sucks, when all hell has broken loose, and I think I am definitely out for the count this time, I remind myself to count my blessings. I start small.
Can y'all hear the video?
Yes.
I woke up this morning. I can breathe. I am able-bodied. I am well. I have clear thoughts. I can swallow. There is food to eat, clean water to drink. I am warm. I have a home. My mother, my car, they turned on. My computer is new. I have keys to a home. I am loved. I have things to unlock, and maybe this is the key. Having gratitude for everything and every place I'm in, for people and perspectives, how they stay, firmly rooted or shift over time. I want to be like the ocean, large and vast, but always unashamed. I am grateful for this knowing and poetry, for love letters and emails with kind words sent from strangers across the world. I am grateful for tuberoses, for the smell they release, for hair things scattered around my house and car, but always within reach, for the feeling taking my bra off after a long day rings. Oh, I am grateful for good friends that FaceTime at 2 a.m. because I sent a text about feeling lonely. I am grateful for Thrifty's mint chip ice cream on rainy days, for teachers who invested in me beyond subject matter, for the iPhone and all the cool things that it does. I mean, really, what did we do before screenshots? I am ever grateful for activists and allies, for people using their voices for anger turned strategy, for movements and protests, because we are worthy of so much better. I am grateful for Mr. Rogers and Michelle Obama's arms, for the trees and the air, for quiet moments and celebrations. I am grateful for stillness and plane rides across the world to places I have only ever dreamed of. Oh, to be grateful for memories and the heartbreak that is now behind me. I am grateful for those terrible days. They taught me, birthed my appreciation for tomorrow always coming, for 82 degrees sunny Sundays with a gentle breeze. I am grateful for contrast and proximity, for sunshine and being prepared for the rain. Oh, I am grateful for friends turned family, for lovers never lost. Oh, I am grateful, eternally grateful to be whole, healthy, and loved.
Amen.
Cool.
I
Amen.
like
So
that.
I saw that earlier, and I was just thinking about a lot of times we take for granted so many things in life. We take for granted, just being able to get up and go to the refrigerator or go turn on the hot water. We take for granted being able to go get inside of a car. We take for granted having shoes and clothes because we feel like that's just stuff that we have. That's an entitlement, or sometimes we don't even think of it as entitlement. We just think that's just part of who we are in the life that we live. And so I was talking to somebody earlier today, and they was talking about the subject of being thankful. And they said there was a man that was sitting on the bus stop, but he didn't have money to get on the bus. But there was a lady on the bus, and she was complaining about having to ride the bus. And I know to some of us that may sound very minimum, but the difference, the life-changing difference of somebody wanting to get on the bus but not having the money to ride it versus the person who has the ability and the money to get on the bus to ride it but is complaining because they don't want to be on the bus because they don't have a car. And it just put me of the mindset of we're blessed. And we take it for granted, some of the little things or the minimum things that we think about, but often our complaints, and our complaining is another person's prayers and wants and need. And we need to start looking at it like that. So, I didn't mean to go on my TED talk, but that just kind of shifted me today when I had that conversation. So I know Miss Farina, this is the 4th annual
You know
Breaking
what?
Bread.
I'm not sure if it's 3rd or 4th. I think I seen the last flight I seen was 2018 that it started.
Okay.
Um,
So the third annual Breaking Bread. So let's just go right into like a thing about Thanksgiving and what we're doing, and then a little more of that conversation about are we really thankful. So what is breaking bread? Because that can go in a couple of different ways. I'm just gonna tell you,
Right.
especially if you've been known to hustle. So what's breaking bread for y'all?
I'll let y'all go first.
Okay.
Well, breaking bread for me is like, um, you in a place where you are able to actually really be able to, break bread, like, um, you know, be able to have like a lot of people don't have family atmospheres, especially during the Thanksgiving time, and so breaking bread is really the title that God gave me for this Thanksgiving event. That's where it really came from. Is
Okay.
It was a vision from God, and he actually gave me the name for it.
Okay. So what is it though? He gave you the name for it. Breaking bread is doing what? What do you guys do at this
So
breaking bread event?
it was a vision God gave me 3 years ago. I was already doing things in the community, feeding the community, that kind of thing. And so God asked me, He said, "Daughter, will you feed my sheep?" And I said, "I'm already feeding your sheep. What you talking about?" And He asked me again. I said, "I am feeding your sheep." And so, I tell people he got a sense of humor, because I'm one of them people that grew up uh, in the cold all my life. Originally from Michigan, moved to Wisconsin, so it's always cold. And so I'm a person that I don't like the cold weather. And he said, "I want you to be outside, and I want you to feed my people on Thanksgiving Day." And I said, "Hold up, wait a minute, back up. Wait, hold, stop. Uh Satan, is that you, or God, is that really you?" Because, like, I don't like the cold weather. So I'm arguing with him. I'm being honest. I'm arguing with him like, I don't like cold weather. You really want me to go outside in the cold weather and feed the people? Like, that's really what you want? Can I do it in a church? He said, "No. I want you outside. I want you on 35th and Center." And in the beginning, when I brought it to the people that I brought it to, they thought I was crazy. They were like, wait. Outside. I said, outside. 35th and Center. But God is so amazing. He made me understand, like, you know, right. Everybody gets to be in warm weather around all your family, and, you know, having fun and all of these things. He said, "What about people who don't have that option? What about people?" He just literally gave me a vision of people who, um, are on drugs and streetwalkers and all of that. And he said, "But what about them?" He said, "Do you understand?" He said, "Those are my children too." He said, "And they need to be fed." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And so that's where Breaking Bread Community Thanksgiving Day Feast came from. And so Keon Malone and I had talked about doing something like that before, and he did the first one over on Atkinson. And he said, Mom Farina, I can't do it. You're gonna have to take this over." And so he helps, like, with the tent setup, like, to provide the information so we can get the tent. So we do a heated tent, and it's a tent with heated lamps. We have a caterer who prepares the food. And each year, I promise you, I'll share some later on. But each year, he has shown us why we are there. And I'll leave it at that for now.
All right. Thank you. All right, co-host. You said you was gonna let us go first. I need
No,
you to jump in.
I'm telling you, she really explained what breaking bread really is. When you think of it, really think of breaking bread. You go back to the the Last Supper, when that's what they did. They broke bread. They communed together. It's all about showing love. It's all about having redemption. It's all about having grace and mercy upon someone that doesn't have. He was giving the disciples and then giving us something that we didn't have. He was giving us grace and mercy, giving up his life, giving himself so that we could have everlasting life. So that's what really the breaking bread is. It's about communing with each other, about showing each other love, about showing each other that throughout the holidays, no matter what I feel about you, no matter what has transpired during the year or even the day before, or what your situation is or where you are in life, uh, I have to show that grace and mercy and show love to you for that moment, that time, because we all have to realize that we are only one step away from where the person that we're looking down at, or the person who is not as doing as well as us, we're only one step away from where they are. I like using the saying always when people ask me how you doing, I always tell them I could be doing better, but trust me, I could be doing a whole lot worse than what I'm doing. So that's what breaking bread is. It's about showing people love. It's about sharing with others. It's about giving a part of you to someone else, to brighten up their day, to give them another bit of hope, to give them a bit of strength, to give them a bit of life, because that's what it's about. Love is life. And that's what breaking bread, that's what Thanksgiving is about, being thankful for what you have and giving someone a reason to be thankful also, who might not be as fortunate as you, who might not have as much as you. But guess what? For that one thing that we do have is love between the two of us.
Absolutely. And thinking about that love and just going forward. And like Miss Farina said, like, you mean outside in the winter in
That's
Wisconsin
love.
doing Thanksgiving when I can be with my family, eating outside on 35th and Center in the dead of winter. But that's what we've been the last
But
couple of
she is
years.
with family. She ain't
Yeah,
with her natural family, but she's
right.
spiritually with her family, because we all are family. And when you look at people like that you can give up outside of yourself, outside of what you feel is comfortable, that Miss Farina Brooks can say, guess what? I would like to be at home with my family, but I think enough of mankind, I have enough love in my heart to give you what me and my family are going to have, because they're going to be at home when I'm done here. And I'll be
Right.
able to spend some time with them. But I want to give you guys what I got. I want to give you a brief moment of time where you feel special and feel loved, and get everything that I'm getting. That's really what it's about right there. And on 35th and Center, oh, you showing love if you on 35th and Center handing some stuff out in the wintertime. That's love, man. I'm telling
But it don't.
you.
In the summertime too. Talking about in the winter, that's love. The summertime, definitely, that's love. Like, if we gonna be
Listen,
really
I'm gonna tell you,
transparent today, we
Shaquana
had
was
horses
always.
over there in the summertime. They told us, y'all got horses in the hood. Yes, we do, sir. Making sure our kids get this opportunity and experience. And
It
so
was.
that's
It was.
great. And people, would you
It
go
was
say, Miss
funny.
Serena?
For Shaquana, it was so funny. She said, "Miss Frank, we're gonna be outside in the cold." I said, "Yes, ma'am. We're gonna be outside in the cold." I said, "I can tell you this though, it is going to be worth it. We never know what God is going to do." Um,
Absolutely.
the very first person that because when God gives you a vision, He also gives a part of it to someone else, and that
Mhm.
someone else, He always makes sure that's that person that you reach out to, that very first person that you reach out to, so that when you tell them, they get the vision. And so that person for me, the very first year, it was Miss Sherry Lynn Fuqua. And when
Yeah.
I told her, she she caught that vision with me. And as we're talking, like she's seeing the vision as I'm seeing the vision, and she's seeing more in the vision. And she began to talk about what all we're gonna do. We could decorate the tables and
Yeah.
and all of these things. And she had just had something going on with her foot. So she had a boot on her foot. And the first year wasn't COVID, so we were able to have tables under the tent. And I will never forget it. It started really bad. Like the tables wasn't there on top. Nothing was going right in our eyes. But as we all know, it's not about us. It's whatever's going on. God has a hand in it at all times.
Amen.
And
Absolutely.
so
I'm
I will
telling
never forget, my mindset was, you know what? I am not doing this next year. Don't care. I'm not, right. And
you.
It be
so
rough out there.
I left. I had to come home and get some stuff. And when I went back, Miss Sherry's eyes, I could see it in her eyes. And she go, baby. I'm like, what? So she shared with me, there was this man that came in the tent. And when he came in the tent, he was very rude because, when you come in, there's it's a setup. So there's like either drinks or desserts first, and then get to the food, and then we had a few clothes. We didn't have a lot of clothes, but we have a few clothes. We had some few hats and some other things. And so when he came in, he was very rude to everybody, but she didn't know all of this. And then he went to the clothes and stuff, and he was taking it. And so she went over talking to him, and she said he just all of a sudden said to her, like, you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. And he shared with her how that whole day he went to shop and he went to Pick and Save. He seen our flyer, and then he stole something out of there. And then he went somewhere else. He stole something, but he went to the other store and stole something. It was a guy, and that guy, you know what? I'm gonna pay for this for you. God bless you. And so he said, well, he got in that tent. He said, I came in the tent. He said, I was so rude to all of these people in here. And he told her, he said, you know what? He said, I know that God sent me here. He said, and you guys, because you were here, he said, I know that it was God speaking to me. And she was almost in tears. And she said he cried to her. And that doesn't happen. Men don't cry, especially to a stranger. And that year, we was like, okay, well, we know we're going to do it next year because, this is what we're supposed to be. This is why we're here. And there was a guy that the TV interview, and he told them that this man hadn't ate in 3 days. Hadn't ate in 3 days. And he said, I'm so glad they out here. He said, because when you come in this tent, you feel nothing but love. You don't feel no judgment. Nobody's looking down on you. None of that. But what we found out is that there were so many people that come in the tent, and when they come in, they begin to cry because of the love that's shown when they come through there. But we also found that there's a lot of people that come in there and they don't even have socks on their feet. So
Right.
that's how we began to do socks. So on that note, I see Shakila, my girl, is in here. So
She
I'm
in,
gonna
y'all.
yield the floor.
She was able to get in. Shaquila, you can hear us now? I'm unmuting her. Can you hear us now, Shaquila? See, last time she can hear us, we can hear her. Can you hear us? Okay. Well, just jump in when you can. So, Neil, you said you was going to
Y'all
wait.
hear me?
Now we
Yes,
hear
yes.
you. Hey, Shaquila, who are you? What do you do?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes.
can hear you.
We can't see you
I
though.
can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh,
We can hear you. And you can hear us.
okay, hold up. Mm-hmm.
We can hear you.
While she's doing that, I just
No.
wanted to tell Sister Farina, I love what you said that when God gives you a vision, He gives it to somebody else. When He gives you a vision, when He gives a visionary a vision, He always has another set of eyes that see it too. Because you need confirmation and you need a partner. When He sent the disciples
Can
out, He
y'all hear
sent them
me?
not out by themselves to
We can hear
accomplish the
you.
work.
Hi,
He
Miss
sent them out in
Shakila.
twos. So He's
I go by
always
the name of Butterfly Effect.
Okay, Neil,
okay.
y'all overlapping. We gonna let her get in though. And
I'll
then
go
you
ahead
go,
and let her.
hold that thought. Ram in the bush. Go on, Shaquila. Talk. We can hear you. I'm gonna tell her to just talk so she can say who she is. We can hear her. Maybe she can't. You just go with the flow. The technology walls, y'all. I
Right.
hope she can chat.
Uh-oh.
Just
She's
talk.
going.
Well,
She
she's
went out.
churning now.
She
Well,
just
She
I'll
went out.
finish what I was
Go,
saying.
finish. Yeah.
I'll finish what I was saying to Sister Farina. So, because I really wanted to express to her that, and she's so right. Because when He sent the apostles out, the disciples out, He sent them out in twos. He didn't send them out alone to complete a work. You cannot complete a work by yourself. So we send somebody out that has the same belief system as you, the same values as you, because you need a rider with you. So it is so right that he had somebody already waiting that had a vision just like hers. And then once the vision starts, He's going to provide everything. It's going to be people, stuff that always comes. But guess what? throughout all that time frame. When 2 or 3 in the midst, God is present. So that means when God is present, lives are changed, people are touched. And people don't understand that when you have 2 people doing God's work together in
Come on now.
communion as partners, it will be a shift in that area, in that atmosphere, and at that time, each and every time that they come there. And that corner on 35th and Center where they are is blessed. And every year when they come there, can't nothing happen but the blessings of the Lord. People can't help but be touched. People can't help but cry. And God cannot do anything but bless that corner each and every year, because he does stuff bigger and better each and every time. A miracle is always going to be performed there. People say, are miracles being performed? Yes, miracles are still being performed. We just always want to see the lame man walk and people start. No, miracles are performed. That man was touched that day. People are touched each and every time. Sister Farina steps on that corner, a miracle is performed because somebody is blessed that day. Somebody has saw something in themselves that they didn't see. Their heart is touched in a way that it has never been touched, that nobody else could touch it at any other time but them too. And that's why it's everyone that comes there is sent to them. God sends them to them. They're not just coming because the flyer, because a lot of people see that flyer, but a lot of people don't come. He sends the people that need to be touched by them at that moment. He sends them there each and every year. And every year it gets better, and it's going to get better, and it's going to get better, and it's going to get better. Because those are the type of people we need, and those blessings that we need in our city and across America, man. And it just warms my heart to even just be, because I always seen it, but I never knew who was doing it. Now I got a face to who's doing it. And just to let you know, Sister Farina, you can see the glow of the Lord all over you right now.
Oh, thank you.
You can see it all over you.
Yeah, it's a blessing, because when I think about the many people that, I mean, Sequana got a story that she can share that happened last year. I told them, in the group, I say, this is different. This is going to be a different atmosphere than everything else we do, because this is really like, I can't even explain it. It's really a ministry. And I mean, it's a real ministry. And I think it blessed everybody that had never been there, because Dream Team actually was really started, I want to say 2020, I believe we started as the Dream Team. And so a lot of people, or 2019. And so a lot of people hadn't did the breaking bread. So they didn't know. We bless people when we do the giveaways even. But this is a whole entirely different level of blessing. Like,
Right.
It is some real ministry that comes out of this. And it's not even, we don't go into it, in that sense. But God has been good in that every year we have not had any real bad weather. But I'm a person that believes that when God gives you a vision, you go to him and you tell him exactly what you want, because it's his vision. So he has to, grant you what you're asking for, because it is his. And so, we've been fortunate as to not have a lot of bad weather. Um, so it's been really kind of not cold. It's been kind of nice really on Thanksgiving.
Right.
And and I'm telling you, when I tell you each year, it's just so amazing. And last year, I tell you, Sequana she was so blessed by a situation that happened that she got to be involved. And I'll let her share that with you guys. But and there was a miracle that someone came in a wheelchair and left walking last year. They told me it happened. But there was a person they told the person that came in a wheelchair, and they prayed for this person. When they left there, they were walking.
That's what we're talking about.
Absolutely. And there's so many blessings in Miss Renee. She just keeps saying it, y'all. So I'm going to share with y'all in a minute, but I want to give Shaquila her shout out, because she's been doing some great stuff. And the fact that she can't get on, ain't nobody mad, but ever, y'all. But hello, my name is Shaquila, and I do butterfly effects. And that is, we give homicide victims' family hand-painted butterfly sets in honor of their loved ones. killed in the streets. And so Shaquila is a part of Dream Team Comforce. She's on the ground. She does a lot of great work. If you ever met her, she is hilarious. So you got to be able to laugh if you're around Shaquila. You can't not laugh because that's just who she is. But she is truly has a heart for her community. And she was given a vision of butterflies. Her father passed a couple years ago. I don't know how long it was since her mother passed. And the butterfly was her way of giving back to the community. We know the story of the caterpillar who turned into a butterfly and you was able to relinquish. And so for these families that have loved ones who have been killed in the street, she gift them different type of butterflies, like she hand paint them, carve them, and things like that. And they love them. And it was something that she does out of the goodness of her heart, started with her own little money, and people ask and they pour into her. But this is her way of saying thank you to her community by giving them butterflies. And it's called the Butterfly Effect. I wish she was on to tell a little more, but make sure you check out her page. Her name is Shaquila Morrison, but she does have a page called the Butterfly Effects. And you might say, well, how is that having to do with Thanksgiving? It ain't always about the food, but it's about us truly being thankful, because this is someone that went through some pain herself. And I believe her brother got killed as well here in Milwaukee. She turned that pain and trauma into giving back and loving on her community and using that butterfly effect to do what she has to do. It brings comfort to the heart. One butterfly set at a time. That's her motto and that's her vision. So let's make sure we support her. Let's make sure we pour into her. A lot of times when things happen to you in the city that you live in, sometimes they make you turn away from the city. She turned to the city, goes hard each and every day. When there's some things that's going on, she goes to situations other people will run from. Let's just be truly honest. If somebody's got killed or there's some domestic violence or there's some really trauma going on, she's usually there front and center, helping a family, hugging and loving on them, and doing stuff like that. So that is part of being thankful and truly thankful, because a lot of people can say, hey, that don't have anything to do with me. I feel for them families, but I'm going to stay in my own lane. But she chose to pick up that lane and make it hers. So I just wanted to make sure.
I wanted to ask Sister Farina a question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yesterday, all week I've been talking to people, and even during service yesterday, I was telling people, when God speaks, you know his voice.
Yes.
Because a lot of people now, God speak to them and give them an idea, but they hesitate. So the idea never comes to fruition, or it never can be capitalized truly how God wants to work in it, because they hesitate and they are, well, I don't know if I should do it. And I don't know if God really want me to do it. How did you know that it was God speaking to you? Because I tell people, I know when God speaks. I know when he walk into a room, because his presence, you can feel his presence. And when you want his sheep, you know his voice.
Yes, you do.
How did you know that God was truly speaking to you, telling you that you should do this?
Because I had just overcome second stage lung cancer.
Okay.
He had just brought me through second stage lung. I ain't really supposed to be here. Okay. Man.
Are you supposed to be here?
God, I'm supposed to be here. I had just beat cancer in 2018.
Foolishness these last couple days. I don't do all that.
I remember going back to see my pulmonary doctor, and he said, well, what are you doing Thanksgiving? And I said, well, we usually feed the people. And he said, that's why God had you here. He said, that's why we knew you weren't going anywhere. And I was like, oh, okay. But I knew that it was him. And I promise you, I always talk to Von Mays, my nephew, and I had, because he's always a part of everything I do too. And so when I talked to him about it, he said, well, Auntie, everybody doing something on Thanksgiving. He said, maybe you should do it the day after Thanksgiving. So I was like, okay, because usually, whatever he tell me, he kind of like a mentor to me. So I usually listen. But I promise you, God give you no peace on. He would not give you no peace. He said, I did not tell you the day after Thanksgiving. He said, Thanksgiving Day is very important. I told you Thanksgiving Day. I told you 35th is center, and that's what I want you to do. It was a wrap. Like, okay, Thanksgiving Day, 35th is center, we're going to do it. And so, I know like I I have a relationship with him, and so I knew it was him telling me to do that. At first, I was, like, God, you sure this is you? But I knew all along it was him, because I know that, you know, a lot of times things that don't make sense to us is because it's coming from God, because it ain't
Makes sense
supposed to,
to him.
because it makes sense to him. And so I was like, okay, Lord, this is what you want. This is what I'm going to do. And I promise you, even some people in the community, the first year, a lady from St. Town, she said to me, she said, Farina, I'm going to be honest. I thought you was crazy when you first brought that out. She said, but you know what? She said, you have built up my trust even. She said, because I just watch you, and you are so focused on when God gives you a vision, you don't let nobody and nothing stop your vision. You do what he tell you to do. And I truly believe in your visions with you, because, we were having book bag giveaways and they said it was going to rain. And I told them, I said, no, I'm getting ready to go talk to my father and we're going to have a conversation. Guess what? It didn't rain. And they was like, wow. I said, because anytime God gives you something, he has to provide everything that you need to do what he's calling you to do. And so I know that it's his voice because I have a relationship with him. I am so blessed, to be even a vessel that he would even think about using. Because listen, the people I serve, I used to be them people. Okay, so I feel their pain. I know where they're coming from, and so it just helps me to be able to give back to some people, to know that's where I came from. Like, that used to be me, and so when I'm able to share with them, they be like, are you serious? Yes, I'm serious. And so that's why I understand where you're coming from. That's why I do what I do. It's because the passion I have, it comes from where I came from. And so that, and I know where God brought me from. He really brought, when I say the dark mirror clay pit, for real, oh yes, that's where I came from. That's where I came from. And so that's why it's so important to me to continue to share, uh, you know, the love, because we're supposed to be the example of who Christ is to the people we see, because we might be the only Bible they ever see. We might be the only example of Jesus they ever see. And so we have to show who he is. It's not always preaching to them, it's showing them by example.
Yeah. It just warms my heart hearing you talk about this, because you can hear the passion, you can hear the love and the emotion in it, and how important it is to you, and that's really what it's about. God picks certain people to do certain works, and he picks people that can understand, people that not can sympathize, but people that can empathize with those who are in those situations. Because sympathy, yeah, you sympathize, but you might not do anything about it. But empathy means I understand. I really go. My heart goes out to you, and I get it, and I'm gonna do something about it. I'm gonna try to do something about it. And God handpicked you for this particular ministry and this job. No one else could do it but you, and it is a blessing just to see it, because like I've said, I've seen it before. I just never knew who did it. And it is beautiful to hear you talk about it, because I can hear the love in it, and I can see the wonder working power of God and what he's going to be doing in these next years with you doing this, Sister Brooks.
Thank you.
Yep. And so just chiming in, because some people are putting up comments. So I put them up on a page. But Trinica Walker is also another one who does the 53206 initiative. Her son got killed, and she turned that trauma and that pain into giving back. She listed some of the stuff that they do. She's actually using her church in some other locations, but she know they're inside. But she absolutely know coming outside of those four walls is where the help is needed. The quote that I got up as well to say, the truly thankful person is truly a peaceful person. You get what I'm saying? When you can be thankful about stuff and grateful for what you have, you can have peace with it. And so we've been talking about some of the great things that's going on within the city. We've been talking about some of the great things you do, but let's just flip it. And so we're in the middle of a pandemic, and we understand that things are absolutely rough for some people. Y'all keep them comments and stuff coming on. I'll try to put them up on the page. You know, I've had some people say, I've lost family members, I've lost work, I've lost kids, I've lost a job, I've lost my hope, I've lost my faith. So I understand you're saying to truly be thankful, but at this time in my life, I don't know how to be thankful. And it ain't, and most of them will tell you, I don't want to be angry. I definitely don't want to be hurt, but I just don't, what am I thankful for? Because I'm at a loss. So when we're thinking about those people, and you know, even before a pandemic, our people been hurting. Let's just be honest. This pandemic just amplified it for some people, because a lot of people went out, and Ms. Farina can say, you know, a lot of people went in, we went out. Like, we didn't go in the house and give it. I understood why people went in, because this is serious, but we went out more, not in more, you know, because the people needed it. But to that individual or that family that's, you know, saying, we know the holidays are coming up, but we don't have anything to really give to each other, we going through, how do we inspire those individuals about being thankful when they're going through?
Well, I'll go, because, you know, this is kind of what I do. People don't understand. We all have been truly affected by it. I was out of work. I was immediately told within like a 4-hour notice that my place of business had to be shut down. And we had, because I'm a licensed professional, I'm a master barber, and we had to be shut down. We immediately had to close our operation, and the city gave us 4 hours to be out and not working. But people think just because you are a minister, you're a man of God, pastor, whatever, that things don't affect you. But they have to realize my spirit man is strong, but my flesh yet gets weak, because my flesh goes through. So I was without work, without money, without anything, bills stacking up, family to take care of. But one thing that I had to realize is that I had another day. I had yet just one more day. I had to have a little bit of faith. A lot of people don't understand faith because they might not be as churched or grew up in church, but I had to have confidence that somebody was going to provide something to me. Whether it be God, whether it be a family member. Lo and behold, we complained about our president. Not a fan of Donald Trump, but God puts a ram in the bush. People was out of work, but some people got an opportunity to be paid more during the pandemic than they were receiving on their jobs, so it could get them through. And even through this holiday season, you might not have everything that you want. God says that he will give you everything that your heart desires. He will give you everything that you need. You might not have everything that you want. You might not have everything that your heart is desiring at that moment, but you are still here yet another day to see another day, because somebody took their last breath yesterday. Somebody took their last breath a minute or a second or a millisecond ago, and you have one more chance to get something. You have one more chance to do it. You have to believe that God will provide something. Guess what? There's somebody on the corner of 35th and Center that is providing something for somebody. There's a young lady that is providing something at 3 locations in her church for somebody. So we have to constantly believe and tell people that you have life. You have breath in your body. You might not have it all, but you have this. We have to have some confidence. We got to have faith. We got to have all those things. And it's sad to say that we in society, we're so angry and upset at everything that we don't look at the small things. We don't look at that, well, I might not have $1 million, but I got 5. I might not have the house that I want, but I got an apartment. I might not have the car that I want, but I got this. We look at the things that we don't have instead of the things that we do have, and then we can't even be a blessing unto others so that we can gain more by being prosperous just through our charity. Charity begots prosperity. You have to be able to give to get something. God gave up something so we could get something. Jesus gave up his life so he could go back with his Father. We have to start giving up things so we can get things, not just to look for things, but just to be a blessing unto somebody else. It used to be a time in our community that if you didn't have sugar, somebody gave you sugar because they had sugar. If they had a bag, they'd give you half of their bag. Now we don't want to give our neighbor sugar. We want to hoard it to ourselves because we don't think we'll get anything back. But you got to have faith that if you give your friend that sugar, you're going to get another bag of sugar back. Just like the woman with the leavened bread. She did it. She made it. She ate it. He told her not to consume it all and eat it all, and she will get some more. But we have to have faith that he's going to provide what he needs us to provide to it. The children of Israel did not have food. He supplied them manna, told them, don't keep anything. Don't keep nothing. You'll be hungry. Don't keep nothing. But every day he showed up and he supplied something, because why? They followed instruction. So many of us don't follow instruction of what God tells us to do. So he doesn't show up and provide what he wants to provide for us and do what he wants to do for us, because we're trying to do it ourselves instead of letting him work and allowing him into our life to do whatever it is. We have to have belief in a higher power better than ours. And that is where it all begins, having belief in him, having belief that he's going to provide, because we've made it thus far and he will take us even further.
All right, and Augie is back. Augie, I'm gonna have you chime in because you do a lot with like the Thanksgiving in our community pop-ups. But Trinika was saying we have to let those folks know to be thankful in spite of joy. In spite of joy comes in the morning. And so, us, we are faith believers, and so we believe in that higher power. We believe in God, but like in the world of people that believe in any and everything because that's their right, how do we still inspire those that are not of the church? And so that's one thing that we focused on in Dream Team. It's a lot of us that go to church, that's in ministry, we leaders, we believe in God. Then those are some other individuals who do not, but they're still a part of our team. And so for those people, we can say like faith, but for those people that don't practice that, who are still going through. And I know we would want them to be like, hey, to get to know God is to get to know love. But how do we still reach those individuals that won't come inside of the church for walls, or those individuals that don't practice the same faith that we practice, because they're still human and they still souls and we know to still love them, right?
Oh, yeah. It's not a thing of having them wanting to practice your faith, but I just let people know that I don't care what faith you believe in. Something is happening for you in your life, whether you consider it karma, whether you consider Buddha has showed up for you or Allah has showed up for you. Things are set in motion by you having a belief that things will happen. If you believe that you will go to 35th and Center and get some food, you have to go and do it. You have to get there. You have to have a belief that you're going to get there and there's going to be food for you there. Someone can tell you, and people tell you a lot of things, but you have to have a belief that it's going to happen. You have to have a belief that some things can happen in your life. And then when you have a belief that things can happen, what are you going to do in the process of that? It says faith without works are dead. And it says confidence that some things are going to happen for you are dead. That's why I never really say faith to people. I say confidence, because a lot of people don't understand faith, but they understand having confidence in some things can happen. That if I get up and look for a job, I can find a job. If I get up every day and I seek after something, I can get it. Maybe it might not be the first place. It might be the second place that's destined for it to happen. But you have to encourage them that you will have made it this far. You are where you are for a reason. There's something that is value in you. That's why you are still here. People have a sense of hopelessness because they have no value in themselves. And we have to start putting value back into people. How can I give faith and have you believe in faith if I don't give you any value in yourself? You have to have value in yourself to believe into something else. So we have to start talking to their issues. And Sister Farina is doing a good thing here. This is how you get people to believe in other people. We have to start reaching out and have people believing in other people, believing in something, believing that people are there and that people care, and that there's a hope for tomorrow. They can't see God if they're worried about the situation that they're in. That brother couldn't see God because he was hungry for 3 days.
Right.
He couldn't see anything else because he was hungry for 3 days. But then after that, and he got there, he could see something else by going through the experience, because now I ain't hungry. We got to get to the circumstances of the people that have them where they are to then get to something else. You can't think about anything else if you still in your circumstance. If you hungry, you homeless, I got to get to those issues. If you on drugs and you strung out, I got to speak to that. And then I can get to the spirit of that. Then I can get to the heart of that. Then I can get to your heart. Then I can get you to believe in something else.
Absolutely. And it goes back to even Maslow's theory of if your basic needs aren't met, you there's no hierarchy to go to because I can't think past my basic needs. So Augie, you own y'all, he's traveling. So we gonna let him introduce himself really fast because he might go through another roadblock and we go lose him. So Augie, who are you? And what's the name of your organization?
I'm Augie Schober, and the name of my company is Schober Outdoor Advertising. For those of you who don't know, my brother and I own a number of billboards within the city of Milwaukee and other places.
A lot of places. And then you're part of the dream team as well too. And necessarily didn't grow up like what we did in 53206, but absolutely know about giving back. And Augie comes through all the time. He have a love for the people. He ain't gonna say a lot, but Augie, how did you kind of get involved in giving back to the community, especially when we talk about the Black and brown community? They can't see your face, but like he's not a Black and brown person, but he gives straight from his heart, y'all. And if he didn't, I'll say it.
Well, it actually really started. I met Bianca Williams, who was doing a lot of outreach at the time, and saw the need. And through Bianca, I met James Nelson, and then James introduced me to Farina. And when you're looking at trying to help an organization, which I've helped a lot, but I've also helped a lot that, they didn't really do anything with what I was trying to help with. Or they just fizzled out and didn't go anywhere. And when I met Farina, I realized that wasn't the case with Farina and the Dream Team. That it wasn't going to fizzle out. And she did exactly what she said she was going to do. So that's one of the reasons why I've helped out so much with the Dream Team, is because I believe in what Farina's trying to accomplish.
Absolutely, and thank you for that. And it's y'all know I love the babies, right? So as I was surfing and looking at things to be truly thankful, I came across this video of these babies, and we go. Hopefully the other one plays, so we go be good. I'm go shoot it down in the thing because it's like 2 minutes, but it's definitely something that we need to look at. But they sung the song about being truly thankful. Just trying to be cognitive of time too. They sung a song about being truly grateful, and it was all of these little babies. They was probably about 6, 7 to 8, and I think they sung it in this other language, and then they sung it in English. And then some of them also talked about what are you thankful for. And with some of their volunteers and adults, and people was like shoes. And this little girl said, "I'm thankful for being here." And that just really touched me because I thought about it. She was like, "I'm thankful for just being here." And sometimes we overlook the simplest things in life to say, "I'm here. I'm alive. I'm breathing. I can talk. I can walk." We take for granted that we can get up and go as we see and as we please. And they often say from the mouth of babes. You know what I'm saying? The truth and honesty of the young one and the hearts that they have, that it be some of the more simpler things in life. I think about when we were younger, of course, we didn't have bills that came with something else, but you enjoyed life on a more simplistic thing, but you were so grateful and thankful for the little things that you may have gotten or the little things that you may have seen. And I believe at times we need to go back to that when we look around our city and our state and the nation. And all that's going on in the midst of the chaos and hell. Don't get me wrong, we still need to change some things, but to truly just be grateful and thankful for some of the things that we have, and how it impresses upon our life and how it impresses upon our community, let alone how it impresses upon our children. And I think about it because as a parent, how you are, that's a reflection of your children. So if you are the type of parent that is never thankful or grateful or don't teach it to your child because you are your child's first teacher and educator, how do they grow up to learn? you know. And so I think about it as being somebody that lives in this community. How do I display and impress out on my community of being thankful and grateful of who I am and how I got here? And of course, I'm a faith giant, so all glory be to God, because it ain't like Saquana so great. All these great things happen is because he saw something so great in me. But I've never missed the time to say thank you, even for little pleasantries, right? Shanice talking about preach. I know that's Neo. Don't took us in. I'm trying to stay back with it. But just think about that, and I'm gonna put in the chat, Miss Farina, or if one of the dream team, because I tagged some of them in. If y'all can put in the chat that flyer and then share it out too, because the 35th and Center don't happen because we wanted to, right? Augie, Farina,
That's for sure.
It happens because like-minded people come together, and there's a lot of work in the background that you guys never see. So if you can volunteer your time, we love volunteers. Come with the right spirit, but we love you. And even if you don't, we'll take you, because we go love on you. And at the end of the day, you will still be part of the dream team. That's just who we are. But donations are needed. And we ain't always talking about money. If you know, canned goods, and we're not saying bring stuff that you wouldn't even want yourself either, because we feel like in our community, we go treat them like we treat our own family. And hopefully you treat your family and friends good, but we feed them good stuff and fresh stuff. But to volunteer, to donate, on the flyer, it tells items that we need. If you want to give a monetary donation, I hate going to stores. People don't think so, but Miss Farina tell y'all I'm not a store person. So, you know, I'm one of the type of people that would give money, but because I'm part of it, I have to go to the store at times. But come and help us out. And even if you're doing something, this ain't about just the dream team. You know, this ain't about just Augie Sherbert, but support him, because he supported a lot of things in our community. But if you have events that's going on, not even just this month, next month, or you have some stuff that you want to do, let's get together, because in our group, there's no big I's and little U's. We go help out other people with their events. We don't care about names on flyers. It's about us serving our community to the best of our ability, and that's what we're sent here to do. Somebody else has said something, so the flyer go get dropped. But if you have events that's coming up this month or throughout the year, let us know. If you see some things that we can do within our community, let's come together. All of us know the issues and challenges, so we don't need another segment on what those are. What we can do is a segment on how do we get to strategically solutions, and how do we work together. That's what we really can come together and do. And like they said, when you talk about breaking bread, I love that name. It encompasses so much things, because to be able to eat with people and talk. And Miss Farina, go get me if I do not share this with you all, you know, because me, I love to serve and give. But if you really, really know me, I don't want to be in the front line. God set me up. I was trying to be in the back for him. And so before I am. So on 35th and Center, you know, you can call it a hot spot or whatever. We love it. Before we had, I think it was maybe a week or two before we had our Thanksgiving over there, there was a shooting that took place. Somebody did get killed, and it was a young man that was in the car, and his mother jumped on top of him inside of the car so that he will not get shot. This little love this little young man, was maybe 7 or 8. He didn't come outside after that. He would not come outside after he was in the middle of a shootout. Nobody can get him outside. He was not going. Thankfully, him and his mother was physically okay, but not really physically, because emotionally. And so because we had the Thanksgiving giveaway, you know, come for us through the s'mores. And the young man told his auntie, somebody over there with the s'mores. And she said, well, if you want to go, I'll take you. Now, this young man was so traumatized, he was not coming back outside. The s'mores got him to come over. And as he came over, the auntie started telling us about what was going on. And I think they came and got me, and they asked me to pray for the young man. And so as I prayed, his auntie started singing, you know, and we went in over there. But that's just one of many things that happen. So it is about food. It's about serving our community, but it's also about reaching out to those individuals and families who are in need of love, in need of prayer, in need of somebody caring for them. And this little young man, you can just see it on his face, how any little noise scared him. Like if somebody moved too fast out there that day, if it was clicks, if it was whatever, he was so traumatized. And I talked with the auntie, you know, and we followed up a little bit, but we try to be respectful and give people their space. But if she's so listening because she follow us now, we are looking forward to y'all coming back out this year. We love y'all. Remember to continue to keep in touch with us. Let us know what we can do. And for that, a lot of times we want to say prayer, but I want to be real and say also that young man and his family needed some therapy. They needed some more help than what we was able to encompass and give them that day. So also we connected them for some resources. The story of the young lady coming in a wheelchair and the bus driver bringing her there, you know, and her having trouble walking and her getting up and walking. You know, it's so many things that take place out there for Thanksgiving or any events we do, because it can be our regular pop-ups. We've really dealt with some people who were going through some things and they made it over to where we was by the grace of God. I'm going to say for us, or they faith or higher power, whatever they believe in. But we're there to always help them. And so that's part of us breaking bread and giving back. That's part of us being thankful and grateful for who we are and where we going. And I'm pretty sure that people got more stories about what happens, you know, in this month of Thanksgiving. And once again, we know that the holidays are coming up. For a lot of people, it's joyous. People care. You see a lot more love. But for other people, they go into depressions. They become suicidal. Isolation and things like that happen. So I'm gonna also drop in the chat, and if you guys know somebody, you'll share out. Ken is on our staff too. He worked with the behavioral health division, mental health, AOTA stuff. We got to make sure that we're getting people the resources that they need, and make sure that we're being there and being unbiased, because it could be us. A lot of times people go through stuff alone, because if they tell you, instead of helping and loving them, and now on Neo to jump in too, you will talk about them. And so a lot of people just hold it in, because instead of you helping them, you talking about them, they don't want to come and get help for you. So we have to learn within ourselves to stop being so judgmental. Always say it to the speaker and then to the audience first, and showing them love. I don't know, Neo, if you were still doing it, but at one point I thought y'all was doing like a man's group or talking to some young man.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be starting that back up again. It's called BD4, Boys with Dreams, Determinations, Desire, and Destiny. So we'll be starting that back up again. I'll let you know when we get it going. I have a meeting on this coming Monday, actually meeting with some guys that we'll be instituting and putting together a plan when we'll be starting it back up, and our agenda with it and how we're going to go about doing it. And we're going to expand it to some larger age groups. We're really working with the young boys that were in like eighth to ninth, 7th to 9th grade, but we really want to push it now towards younger men and adult men too, because in this climate right now, we have a lot of adult men who are looking for mentors. I got a mentor. I'm 47 years old, and I got mentors. I got men who I go to that I talk with to get advice, to get direction. So we'll be doing that, and I'll definitely be reaching out, letting you know, and we'll be talking about it on Taylor Talks.
Absolutely. And thank you for that. And we have a lot of stuff coming up for the young people that we're working with, whether it's Comforts Fund. Also, I got to shout them out, because I know, you know, in my other capacity, I'm elected, but on this show, I'm Sequana Taylor Talks community, and we talk about everything from A to Z. So, you know, screenshot and talk about it, but we go do some help for our community. The Office of Violence Prevention, Arnita, is phenomenal. I love her, not just as a person, but because she's on the ground trying to do what she can do. And they have resources and stuff for our community. So reach out to them. I'll drop their information in the chat. 414 Life, Comforts, the People's Revolution, Tiffany, Khalil, them. There's a lot of people doing a lot of great things. So I want to make sure in this month of Thanksgiving, but also because the holidays are coming up, there's a lot of things going on. We had 3 killings yesterday. I was on the ground for one of them. That we began to be more proactive than reactive. And I'm being thankful, because I am looking forward to a city where we can sit outside and be okay and not worried about our young people, our old people, or anybody in between. And then also that we're coming together to put some things in place ourselves too. So, Miss Farina, do you want to tell them how they can get in touch with Dream Team? Dream Team, if you want to put either an email out there, a phone number. Pastor Neil, I want you to vocally, I want y'all to say this stuff too, but I want y'all to drop it in the chat because some people may be looking for some other things and maybe they didn't want to say it on the screen today. I always want to give them a chance. Augie, you have a business, you give back a lot, but people also need to support you. This is homegrown. Put your information in the chat, but I'll start with Miss Farina, but I want y'all to vocally say how people can contact you all.
Okay, for me and the Dream Team United MKE, we have a page, Dream Team United MKE. You can hit us up on that page. You can also hit me up on my own page, Farina Brooks. You can call me at 414 839-9481. We also have a Gmail account, which is dreamteammke@gmail.com. So you can reach out to us at any way of that. And also, you can email me personally if you would like at farinabrooks@yahoo.com. We're always wanting and willing to have people come and help us serve, because most of the people that come and help us serve, they really enjoy it because they see the look on the people's faces and how blessed the people are by what we're doing. For Thanksgiving, we're asking for donations of new coats, hats, gloves, winter accessories, food. We're good with, but we are looking for donations of coats and hats and gloves. But they must be new, or you can donate cash. Either way. And on the flyer, which I don't really know how to put it in the comment page, or I would. It tells you how you can reach us if you want to donate, or you can send a Gmail, and somebody will answer that Gmail and tell you if you would like to donate. We do have ways that you can, if you need to write it off for tax purposes, we have that available for you also. And if whatever you do, come out and join us. November 25th, Thanksgiving Day, 12 to 3 o'clock. We will also be doing a grocery giveaway. As y'all know, that's what we do, give away groceries. We'll be doing a grocery giveaway, and we'll have a traditional Thanksgiving meal. We'll have our s'mores going. So far, that's all we know. But a lot of times people will call us and say, can I come out and do, other things? And so
Butterfly Effect to be there.
Oh yeah, Butterfly Effect will be there. Yeah, she'll be there also. So it's just, if you got something that you feel like will help the community on that day, just contact us, and you're welcome to come out and do it. One of our mottos is, if you're coming to sell anything, we don't do that, because our whole goal and focus for the Dream Team is to give back.
Pastor Neil, how can the people get in touch with you? They may be looking for a church home, or to come to that man's group, or just to have somebody to talk to.
If they want to reach out to me, they can stop by my place of business, I Pray Barber Studio, 6425 West Burleigh Avenue. If you're looking and you just want to come in and seek some counsel with me in service on Sundays, with services at 12 o'clock, Apostle of God's Church, ITH. Our address is 7556 West Fond du Lac Avenue. You can reach me at Neo the Barber at gmail.com. Reach out to me, stop on in. I'm telling you, we have a lot of resources that I can send you to, people in the community that can help you with clothing, different things, food. So please just give me a call. Come on, reach out. Not just looking for a church home. If you're just looking for somebody to talk to, that you don't have nowhere to go and then have anyone to talk to, just reach out.
Thank you, Augie. How can the people get in touch with you?
You can either find me on Facebook at August Schober, Schober, or you can call me on my cell or text me 414-477-8700. And even if you don't think that you can afford a billboard, I've helped a lot of people over the years. They may not have rented a billboard from me, but I've helped them with their advertising campaigns. Because a lot of people out there, they think they need to go big right away when they start a business or when they're getting off the ground. And it's not always necessarily the fact. So I also, help people out, even if they don't support me. I support a lot of different people.
And that he do. And also because Shaquila was having technical difficulties, she put her name in the chat, Butterfly Flex. Reach out to her if you know a family that will, be in need, or a family that just went through something or has somebody killed. She is great with that type of thing. Make sure her information is in the chat as well too. Somebody asking the information be pinned or added later. Yeah, I'm asking them now to drop their information in the chat. It'll stay up just so people can be able to have this information, and I'm gonna drop a couple more resources up in there so that you can see it. In Thanksgiving, we may have a couple people out there, but in December, we'll have more resources coming out for our community pop-ups to make sure that people are getting those things that they need. And we're going to meet you where you are, not always asking people to come to us. Once again, thank you guys for chiming in to Taylor Talks. This was like a dream maybe a couple years ago. Now we even have sponsors. Thank you to PWR Media. Thank you for Golden Reeds Gate Funeral Home for all that you do. Thank God for elevating. I was the young girl that didn't like talking, like to read books. Now God have me on totally different platforms. And I'm going to use my voice in the work that I do to serve the community all the time. Follow me, Taylor Legacies, on Facebook. Saquana Taylor is the brand. We creating a legacy for all people, not just mine, to make sure that we become self-sustainable. We also do stuff with credit building, financial literacy. Those things are back now in person in a hybrid model because we are in the middle of a pandemic. But I do think one of the ways for us to educate and help our community is to teach them some of the things that we didn't always know growing up about financial literacy, credit, money, savings, stocks, and things of that nature. So follow us or get in touch with us. I have a person who is going to fix 20 people credit for free. 10 of those individuals are people who was recently incarcerated and transitioning out. They have some stipulations on it. And the other 10 are mothers, who need some help, or single mothers and things of that nature. This person is legit. So if you email me, I'll put my email in the chat and then I'll connect you to him. If I'm referring y'all to somebody, believe me, that's because I know that they do good work. I wouldn't refer you to anybody that's not going to help you or hurt you, or anybody that's trying to scam and get over on you. That's not the way I operate. Most people should know that. So love on somebody. I know most people may not go outside, but I've seen plenty of y'all outside. But if you got a neighbor or a senior, I'll call them our seasoned people. Check on them. They have been the most vulnerable population during this whole pandemic. They are lonely. I know. I talked to them. I've adopted about a good 5 or 7 of them. Miss Farina can tell you that even if I just go drop off stuff at their front door, or I give them a call, some of them text, just make sure that we're checking on them to make sure they're okay. Everybody need a little love sometimes, and it's so simple to say, hey, how you doing? Or here's a little love token, whether it be food or something else. Have a great day. Remember to rest and replenish. If you are a faith giant, pray, meditate, do something for yourself. Self-care is so needed in this time, in this season. Remember to reach out. I'm here as a resource and to help. Whether you in Milwaukee or not, we're national. One day we'll be international. But thank you for tuning in. And you are, and my guests are, the best part of Taylor Talks. Have a great night.